Russell, thank you very much, and Chris, thank you as well, and the Alumni Association for leading this wonderful event this evening. It's such a joy every year to be able to commemorate alumni and thank friends of the university, and of course an evening like this where we're able to remember people like Bruce and also honor Mary Ann. It makes it a particularly joyous occasion. Sue and I have the privilege, of course, it was mentioned that we live in a house that Bruce built, and we have the joy every day of appreciating and enjoying his creativity and his knowledge and his expertise, and we think of him. I know, of course, the family does, Lori and Mary Ann. We think of him all the time and are grateful for him. Stanley and Diane Williams were honored tonight as well. They could not be here. As was mentioned, they received the award last night, a Spirit of Excellence Award at our gala. But they rushed out of town on an early flight this morning. But Stanley told me just this last week a story, Mary Ann, I know you've heard many times, but that Stanley said, well, I always, Bruce and Stanley worked together a lot on this building, the Morris Cultural Arts Center, also the cleanup of the Brown Administrative Center. Bruce was very careful to tell us, we're not renovating it, we're not fixing it, we're not repairing it, we're cleaning it. And there was a very special reason for saying that, which a few years from now I'll explain to all of you when the statute of limitations is run out. But they did a fabulous job of cleaning up that facility, of course, after the hurricane and after it was displaced for 3 years. But Stanley said, well, I really miss Bruce because I go into meetings now, and it used to be that I could go into a meeting and make everybody mad, and then Bruce would clean up all the messes I made, but now I don't have Bruce to soothe over everybody's feelings, and so we had a good laugh about that. But we miss Bruce. We thank God, Mary Ann, for you and for your family, and it's it's what we do on occasions like this. Memory is such a rich and vital part of an occasion such as this, because in a lot of ways we do look back, and it's a good thing to look back. It's not a bad thing to look back. It's not a bad thing to remember. Emery shared with us the calling of God in his life and how that took place. I believe you said 1973 or 7? Okay. And those great moments are worth reflecting on in life. Remembering, don't let them go away. The scriptures, of course, talk a lot about memory. If you ever get asked a question on a test, what's the theme of the book of Deuteronomy? Just fill in the blank with the words remember and forget not. It's the theme of the whole book, where Moses tells the children of Israel, reminds them of all that the Lord has done for them, and tells them, don't forget, the Lord brought us up out of the land of Egypt, the Lord brought us across the Red Sea, the Lord brought us through the wilderness, the Lord has brought us to this place, but do not forget the Lord who has rescued you and redeemed you. And over again, the words like remember, or even watch and observe and hear and listen, those words get repeated over and over again. It's, of course, a big theme throughout the New Testament. Our Lord said, with regard to the supper, this do in remembrance of me. Paul said later on in 1 Corinthians 11, for as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you will show or proclaim the Lord's death until he comes. This reflection, this memory of the story. Paul said of the Philippians, I thank my God upon my every remembrance of you. Memory is a powerful thing. Memory can do such good things. We think of our loved ones who've gone on before us. We think of great stories. We had pictures of people. It'll probably come up again here in just any second of I'm not sure if that one was Don Lozier, but of a young man being thrown into a fountain upon being engaged. Well, these are memories, and these pictures in some ways are almost ghost-like, but they jar memories that are bigger and better even than the pictures themselves. Memory is such a powerful thing. Memory, of course, can be so powerful, it can also be used for ill, because have you ever had the occasion, probably I'm the only one, where you remember something that has happened and you just get mad all over again. And you think you've done your forgiving, and then you realize, no, I've got to I've got to keep making peace and allowing my heart to remember and also forgive. Memory is such a powerful thing, and that's what that's at the heart of the gospel. The gospel is of course the story, the message of what God did through Jesus Christ our Lord, His death, His resurrection on our behalf. The story is a remembrance of God's powerful deeds. But of course, the point of the memory is so that we use it to be the people that we ought to be, the people that He made us to be. We are stirred up, and Paul told Timothy to stir up the gift that is within you through the laying on of my hands, and remember the faith of your mother Lois and your grandmother Eunice. Remember the things that have happened to you. So events like this, that's what makes it so powerful for us. And Sue and I are so honored to be HBU alumni. She's the class now because of the Hallmark Award that Mary Ann received of the class of, she's 08 and I'm 2011. And it's so powerful to be a part of a family and to cultivate memories. Sue and I are sort of like some of our young alumni. I mean, there's Sally and Andrew and others there. I mean, your memories of HBU are shorter than those, say, of Rita Tower or Mary Ann or Sharon Saunders or Emery and his wife Susan. But the way it is for Sue and me, but nonetheless, these memories, we cultivate them, and they're powerful because they continue to change you and shape you and influence you. It's important. You ever hear people talk about institutional memory? They're really talking about people. That's why when you have athletics, you got to have Coach Moon, or you got to have Ron Cottrell around, or if you want to talk about some of the old clubs and organizations and student life and trustees, David Stutz, talk to David Stutz. And I could call, 3 dozen names out here because of people who represent sort of institutional memory. That is, they know how things have been. And it's powerful for us because you can't forget, we should never forget the rock from which we have been hewn. And all the while we are in effect creating new traditions, because every moment that we live is the next moment has to be recaptured with a memory, and whether it's a year later or 10 years later or 50 years later, it has the power to shape us. So we live every moment today in the light of the past, but we live every moment today so that we are shaped, so that we are building the kinds of memories that edify. It's so important for parents and grandparents to spend time with their children and grandchildren, because you are building the kinds of memories, whether you know it or not, whether it's a casual moment or a routine moment, you are building memories that will shape their lives. And at HBU, we try with our students. Our faculty members stand up there and deliver. They say things, they live things that they won't remember past that lecture, but a student might remember for the rest of his or her life, because that dramatic moment changed them and shaped them and influenced them. Those of you who teach, those of you who preach, know this in a powerful way, but it's true for all of us. A parent, a brother, a sister, a friend, a classmate. We are part of the building not only of our own memories, but the memories of others. And an alumni association is powerful for a university because it calls to mind those things of the past that we need to hold on to, the traditions that are powerful to shape us, and the traditions that, because of just the fun of them and the fellowship of them and the laughter and the joy that they bring forth, that we hold on to. And all the while we continue to, yes, build new traditions. We are building, I hear people tell me all the time. One time a couple of years ago, we had over at the house all faculty or staff who had been at HBU for, I believe it was at least 25 years. And we had no program whatsoever other than to have a meal, but it was one of the best, quote, programs we had ever had, because of course they began to talk about their experiences in the classroom or with students or with one another, or different political intrigues or athletics. There were so many memories of athletics that those faculty members and staff members have. And so some sports, for example, a lot of you in this room will remember gymnastics and how powerful that was to build cohesion and esprit de corps, what wonderful memories. Well, we don't have gymnastics, but, you've heard of this sport called football. We'll be starting football in another year. And then in the Southland Conference with football a year after that in the fall of 14. So all of those things will be powerful. And I was talking to Coach Sheely the other day, our head football coach, and he commented about how important it was, how many firsts that they were having already in football, how important it was to build those memories with the first walk-ons and the first scholarship players and the first football game and the first football and the first jerseys, the first helmets and the first tailgates and all those kinds of things that are powerful and make a difference. Because when all is said and done, our mission is in the sphere of higher education, in the world of education, in the world of ideas and shaping the minds and hearts of young people, to do all of that under the lordship of Jesus Christ and to do it in a way that's distinctive and powerful and transformative. And so we want those memories to be powerful and to change all of us, and to change particularly, of course, the students that are under our care. So thank you, alumni, for the memories that you carry, for holding all of us before God and with the mission that He has given us to remind all of us to rekindle the flames of all the good that's been accomplished, and to know that we stand on the shoulders of others, and that we stand really within the hearts and memories of others. Thank you for that commitment, and thank you for enabling us not only to remember the past, but to press forward. So many wonderful things are in the offing. We give God thanks for all those represented in these videos, those represented by your memories and experiences in these awards tonight. And we give God thanks for what we believe will be really, really good days in the coming months and years ahead. God bless you. Thank you for your commitment to the Lord and HBU.